All right, good morning. Welcome to my channel. I'm Megan Fox. I write with pjmedia.com. And today I thought I would go over the Tinder Swindler on Netflix because a bunch of you have been telling me I needed to watch this and you wanted to hear my thoughts on it. And my first thought this morning is I shouldn't have fallen asleep on my hair without putting it up because now I'm going to have to watch. It's like dying. It's like the curl is dying. And so, yeah, don't sleep on curly hair. You have to put it up on top of your head, and then it stays nicer. This is just becoming crazy. So stay tuned for what there'll be a wash day coming up here soon, and it should look better than this. This is not good. Anyway, Tinder Swindler is trending on Netflix now. I love a good true crime story. I am all about the true crime. I've actually worked on a true crime story for network television that sadly got canceled, but I hope to do more. I'm actually in the process right now of creating a true crime podcast with a very good friend and filmmaker. So that's going to be very, very cool. That's coming up. I'm supposed to be working on that right now. I should be doing that right now. I'm going to do it as soon as we get off of here. But I wanted to give you my review of Netflix's Tinder Swindler. And I do have I'm not going to go through like an entire recap of the whole thing because I think you really should go and watch it. It's really well done, I think. I mean, they don't have a ton of footage because this guy that they're after, was very hard to catch. And so there's not a whole lot of pictures of him and stuff. Real Housewives Recaps did a review of this as well. You should go over there and check out her. She does an entire recap. All right, so the Tinder Swindler is about this guy who these girls are meeting on Tinder, whose name is Simon Leviev. And he is telling them that he's the son of a diamond mine or his father has a diamond company and he has all this money, and he's showing all these fabulous pictures of wealth. And, these women totally believed it. And this girl, the first one, her first date with him is on a airplane. Like literally he takes her on a private plane to somewhere. I don't know where they go. I don't remember. But look, this whole thing, here's what struck me about the whole thing. He does this to multiple women. It's like a Ponzi scheme where he tells them he's a billionaire's son. He has all this money. He shows them evidence of this money because, he takes them on private planes and he wines and dines them, but he's actually using money from the other women he's swindling to do this. And then eventually he takes their money by telling them that he has enemies, and the enemies are after him, and so he can't use his own money because they would be able to trace him. And he has to have their money in order to, and he'll stuff about this guy. And here he is. On his Instagram or whatever, he's got all these pictures of this fabulously wealthy lifestyle. And when you Google him, his name comes up under this diamond website. And so, you have to know, ladies, it's very easy to make a website. It's extremely easy to make a website, and it can say anything you put on there. So, be careful. Look for red flags when you're dating. And I got to say, I feel very, very sorry for people who are out there dating on these apps. Everybody's, electronic profile just is whatever they want to make it. And that doesn't mean that it's true. And I think, and it's probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but here's another one. Her name is Pernilla. Pernilla was swindled by this guy too. He gave her, indication that he was friends. Basically, they had like a friend vibe going, and he took her out and he wined and dined her as well. And eventually gave the same story. He would send these girls the exact same videos of him in trouble, supposedly, and his bodyguard being beat up. And it was like the exact same photos and the exact same stories. And that's how he would get them to give him money, because he would say that they were attacked by these enemies, these supposed enemies. Girls, you've got to get better at at figuring out the red flags. Like, you've got to see them. Now, I know it's not popular to judge somebody and say, boy, you made really bad choices here. But it occurred to me that these girls did not have a dad like I did, because there isn't any chance in hell that somebody I was dating could ask me to take out a small loan for $20,000, $30,000 that they would somehow pay me back, and I would do it. Like, the amount of money that he was getting out of these women, they were literally going to the bank and getting loans while he was putting them on the payroll of his false company, showing pay stubs that they were making $96,000 a month. Okay, ladies, that's illegal. And so if someone tries to put you on a ghost payroll, you should know something is up. Something is very, very wrong with that scenario, and you should say no. Now, these girls feel like, they were very scared to go forward because they thought that people were going to call them gold diggers. And frankly, I'm not going to go that far, but I am going to say this. It is very clear that the fake lifestyle that Simon Leviev was putting out there was attracting women who were interested in it. And one of the girls, this one in particular, she pulled out that old movie of Marilyn Monroe, How to Marry a Millionaire, where she says, a man being rich is like a girl being pretty. You might not marry a girl just because she's pretty, but my goodness, doesn't it help? And that is true. It's true. I mean, there's no doubt that a financially stable man is attractive to women. However, your red flags should go way up if somebody on social media has this, who says they're a billionaire, has all these pictures of where they go and all their stuff. I actually know multimillionaires, and they have no social media profile. None. Zero. Like, it would put their kids at risk to have a social media profile. So, that's just something that you need to know. People with real money don't have Instagram accounts where they show off all their money. And so that's a red flag right there. If you are looking into somebody's past and you see that their Instagram account has all this, signs of wealth everywhere, that's a big red flag. Because most people with a lot of wealth don't show it off like that, So they end up tracing this guy to Israel, where his mother lives in this tiny, dingy apartment here, and she says she hasn't seen him and she doesn't know where he is. He's been arrested in other places for fraud, bad checks, etc. He fled from Israel. Like, he's done this all over the world. He has a million different fake passports. I guess my favorite part is, so these two women, Pernilla and the other one, they get totally swindled out of everything. But then he goes and he does it to the wrong woman. Her name is, I think it was Allison or Alicia. Oh, I can't remember her name. But he does it to the wrong woman. And it's hard to get on the right panel here. I didn't take a bunch of screenshots because it was just too much. So this is the wrong woman. She finds out that he is a swindler and he's in the middle of it with her. And man, what this girl does to him is incredible. She's the reason he ends up getting arrested, but she also swindles the swindler by making him sell all of his clothes, giving her all of his clothes, his Versace clothes, and she sells it. And he thinks she's going to give him the money, and of course she doesn't. And he figures it out that, like, oh my God, I just got swindled. That's the best part. But the worst part is that this guy gets arrested. He only does 5 months in jail. 5 months. And he doesn't get convicted or even charged with the fraud that he pulled on these women. I mean, it's insane. What is going on with the justice system when a guy who has swindled this many women out of that much money, they say he took probably $10 million overall, never even gets charged with those crimes? I mean, what kind of justice system do we have? But I think the bigger lesson here, ladies, is when you're out there and you're looking for someone to date, be very careful. And do not believe people who post pictures like this with wearing Fendi and with fancy cars. Most likely that means this guy can't afford these things. If he's posting and posing with them on Instagram, like that's a really big red flag. And if any man ever asks you to take out a small loan so that he can whatever with it and he's going to pay you back, the only reasonable answer is no. No, absolutely not. And there's just, I don't mean to say that I think these women were stupid, but they certainly were naive. And except for the last one, who really, you got to watch how she did it, because I'm not going to spoil it. How she got back at him and got him arrested was great. But I really have questions about the police and why they couldn't bring charges against this guy for the fraud. It's incredible that he didn't do more time than 5 months. What kind of, anyway, so check it out, called Tinder Swindler on Netflix. It is trending. It was number 3 last night. It's number 5 this morning. But I found it entertaining, and I thought maybe you would too. And don't forget, coming up on my channel on Friday night, we're doing a fashion fiesta extravaganza from And Just Like That. I'm going to have an awesome collaboration. Wiggy will be here giving us some inside information on And Just Like That. And also Real Housewives Recaps will be here 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. Happy hour right here on my channel. I'll see you then.